Officer in charge can always argue a matter, but your counsel should be properly briefed. यहाँ ऐसा नहीं है कि उठ के आए और फाइल यहीं खोली और यहीं शुरू हो गए. ब्रीफ करिए, आप पीछे से खड़े होकर मत बताइए. Your counsel should be properly briefed. कहाँ अटैचमेंट हुआ है इनका?
In Jabal.
जबलपुर
आपसे नहीं पूछ रहे मैडम, वकील साहब को बताइए, नहीं तो.
Your Lordship, I just have one submission. Your Lordship, we have not dwelt in details of the facts for one reason.
No, sorry.
One reason.
No.
I will present it if the Honorable Court
I'm asking you, you'll have to present it.
Of course, Your Lordship.
Where is it? Where is
Sir,
it?
right now I don't have the.
Bring it. Then
Yes,
don't
Your
waste time, bring it.
Yeah. Your Lordship, at the level of
आपको दे रहे हैं, मौका देंगे आपको, कोई अभी कंक्लूड थोड़ा ना करना.
Yes, sir.
This is their contention.
Yes, Your Lordship.
This कोर्ट में तो आपका कोर्ट मार्शल चलेगा नहीं.
Yes, Your Lordship.
Where is? तो आप ब्रीफ करिए, आप पीछे से खड़े होकर मत बताइए. Your counsel should be properly briefed. If your counsel is not properly briefed, then I'll not hear you.
RTO will also return
counsel
to
को पहले ब्रीफ करते नहीं करते हैं. कहाँ अटैचमेंट हुआ है इनका?
In Jabal.
जबलपुर
आपसे नहीं पूछ रहे मैडम, वकील साहब को बताइए, नहीं तो. You remove him, you argue, I'll permit you to argue, and I'll say that आपका शुभ नाम लिख के that you have discharged your counsel, you will argue the matter. I'll permit you to argue this matter. There's no problem. Officer in charge can always argue a matter, but your counsel should be properly briefed. यहाँ ऐसा नहीं है कि उठ के आए और फाइल यहीं खोली और यहीं शुरू हो गए. Then I'll have to observe certain things about the conduct, because that amounts to wastage of the court's time. Where is that order? Where is the reference to the order dated this 6th April 23? When did he join in pursuance to the order dated 6th April 23? That is annexure P1.
Lordship, he joined.
विक्रम जी, आपकी तैयारी आजकल क्या है? पढ़ नहीं पाते क्या? टाइम नहीं मिलता?
It's not that.
ज्यादा केस हो गए हैं.
No, it's not that.
तो फिर पढ़ते क्यों नहीं हैं आप?
It's not that, Lordship, because that date of joining is not there because it has not been the issue in this.
You should have been prepared. आपकी मैडम ने 2 बार टाइम लिया सिनॉप्सिस बनाने के लिए. Now you reply my queries. Your lawyer is not prepared. You answer it. Then this attachment annexure P1 was for a particular purpose, attached to units mentioned against each for further disciplinary proceedings under the provisions of Army Instructions 30/1986 with immediate effect till finalization of disciplinary case. When was the disciplinary case finalized?
Your Lordship, if I may submit a few things before you to appreciate the sequence of event
जी
properly.
बताइए.
Your
आप
Lordship,
बैठिए, विक्रम साहब आप बैठिए.
Yes, yes.
जी बैठ जाइए.
Your Lordship, in Army, when some disciplinary proceedings are ordered, that is done after a fact-finding investigation into the subject.
Right.
So whenever we get the knowledge that something has happened which may amount to an offense, we ordered something called a court of inquiry, which is akin to a police investigation roughly, and it is a fact-finding body. After that investigation completes, that goes to the convening authority who gives a direction on after examining whether prima facie something has emerged during that investigation.
Right.
So in this particular case, I mean, I'll get to the particular case later. I'll just explain the sequence of event. So once that direction comes, it will say that so-and-so has been found blameworthy for this prima facie, and accordingly you disciplinary proceeding be initiated against him.
Right.
Now, once that happens, that disciplinary proceeding comes in various stages, Your Lordship.
Right.
So it starts with something called a hearing of charge, which is Army Rule 22, Your Lordship.
Army Rule 22.
Yes, Your Lordship.
Just a minute.
So, Your Lordship, Army Rule 22, it is at this stage, we have taken note of the Court of Inquiry, and we've given them certain preliminary, this is the pre-trial stage, basically.
Okay.
So, the commanding officer sees whatever prima facie evidence has come in the Court of Inquiry, and then if it is a case worthy of being tried by court-martial at a later stage, then it is mandatory for the commanding officer to order reduction of the summary of evidence, which is the following rule, Your Lordship, Army Rule 23.
जी.
Now, Army Rule 23, when the summary of evidence is recorded in writing, then that summary of evidence is processed to the convening authority, who will examine that evidence and then come to the conclusion whether or not a case has to be tried by a court-martial or not.
Right.
So I'll just read out, Your Lordship.
Yes.
Army Rule 23, if you may please see. Your Lordship, it says procedure for taking down summary of evidence, that where the case is adjourned for the purpose of having the evidence reduced to writing.
Waiting लिखा हुआ है.
Sir, वो typographical error
पर
probably.
भी कोर्ट मार्शल चलता है क्या? चलिए.
In writing, the adjourned hearing of evidence of the witness who were present and gave evidence before the commanding officer, whether against or for the accused, or any other persons whose evidence appears to be relevant, will be taken down in writing. Then, Your Lordship, if you could just come to, so it just lays down the procedure that we'll give a caution to the accused and so on and so forth. When this summary of evidence completes, then the following rules talks about remand of the accused for trial.
जी.
So what I am trying to apprise to the court here today is that this stage has not even been reached. The particular petitioner
So is there any time limit to?
Yes, Your
to
Lordship. That is what, sir, Your Lordship, if I can walk you to Army Act Section 122.
Yes.
122 Army Act, that's on page 33 of the Bear Act. It says that except as provided by subsection 2, no trial by court-martial of any person subject to this act for any offense shall be commenced after an expiration of period of 3 years. So what I'm trying to explain here is that from the starting date, that is once the direction of the convening authority has...
No,
Yes.
sorry. 122 says that the day on which an act of delinquency was committed, then the limitation will start from that date of commission of the delinquency, and then there are certain circumstances given, that is A, on the date of the offense,
Yes, Your
or
Lordship.
where the commission of the offense was brought to the knowledge of the authority on a particular date, then that will be the starting date.
Yes, Your
Now
Lordship.
you are required to point out
Yes,
as
Your
to
Lordship.
on which date his act of delinquency was brought to your notice.
Yes, Your Lordship. That's what I'm trying to explain, Your Lordship. In Army Rule 120, Army Act 122, in provision 1B, it talks about two situations. The first part of it is, my argument is that we are not affected by the first part of the clause B, which basically says where the commission of the offense was not known to the person aggrieved by the offense. What we are saying is that when, see, I have quoted one Supreme Court judgment, Your Lordship, in the
We'll do that
synopsis.
later on.
Yes.
Judgment
So-
comes later on.
Of
First,
course.
facts.
Okay, I will explain, sir.
Don't try to behave like a lawyer.
No,
कि
sir.
Judgment bombard कर दिया, facts का कोई पता ही नहीं है.
No, sir, I'll tell you the facts, sir.
जी.
So, when the surprise check was done, then we did a
When
court
was
of...
it done? When was it done?
Your Lordship,
Date.
in the synopsis, if you may please see.
Where is the synopsis?
Your Lordship, I've filed a synopsis further to the directions of the court.
जी.
Your Lordship, the surprise check was done.
Synopsis निकाल के दीजिएगा इसमें से फाइल में से. Synopsis निकाल के दीजिए. फाइल किया है इन्होंने? नहीं किया. देख लीजिए आराम से. यही है सिनॉप्सिस. इसको खोल लीजिए, फाइल खोलिए, उसको टैग से निकालिए, दीजिए इसको. और इससे निकाल दीजिए ना. Yes.
Your Lordship, the surprise check was done on 29/01/2020.
29/1.
01/2020.
Surprise check.
Yes, where we found that there was something amiss, based on which,
एक second.
yes.
Check was made. So that is the date of knowledge as per.
No, Your Lordship, no, I'll explain that, Your Lordship, I'll explain that, Your Lordship. So we figured that something is amiss. However, we neither know who all, how many people will be involved in that.
जी.
Accordingly, Your Lordship, we started the investigation on 21/08/2020.
जी. 20. When did you start the investigation?
The court of inquiry commenced on 21/08, serial number 4 of the synopsis, Your Lordship.
2020.
2020.
Court of inquiry initiated.
Yes, Your Lordship. That investigation got completed.
जी
That got completed, Your Lordship, on 8/2/2023. Whereby, this is a serial number 5 of the synopsis, Your Lordship,
जी
whereby the whole of Court of Inquiry proceedings were examined, and the GOC, who Madhya Bharat area, he gave his direction against a total of 9 individuals. That various different lapses have emerged against total 9 individuals. So, Your Lordship, what I am trying to get at is that after this Court of Inquiry happens, now in reference of all these 9 people, separate proceedings will be initiated. And that is why summary of evidence was ordered. First the judicial.
just a minute, wait for a minute.
Your Lordship.
Yes.
So, Your Lordship, once the directions come of the GOC, that is 8 February 2023.
The
That
period of
is-
limitation will start from that.
Yes, Your Lordship, that is what I'm trying to explain on 122(1)(b). That is when the authority competent to initiate action came to the knowledge of the offense.
Right.
So, Your Lordship,
Where are the proceedings of the Court of Inquiry which were initiated on 21/8/2020?
Your Lordship, whereas Your Lordship, they have been examined
No,
in
no,
the
no, no.
in the
You say that Court of Inquiry, this surprise check was made on 29/1/2020.
yes,
Court of Inquiry was started on 21/8/2020.
yes, Your Lordship.
There is lapse of about 7 months' time.
Your
Just a-
Lordship,
Just a minute,
yes.
please. Then you say that for the first time on 8/2/23, Court of Investigation on completion came to know that who are the delinquent persons, right?
Yes, Your Lordship.
Now, what is the documentary evidence in support of this, that the date of discovery of the delinquent officer is 28/2/2023 and not 21/8/20? Where is the initiative? Where is the document which initiated the inquiry? Because that will
Yes.
prove one thing, that the inquiry was against certain unknown persons, and that culminated into knowledge in terms of section 122 clause C, because clause C says where it is not known by whom the offense was committed.
Yes.
The first day on which the identity of the offender is known. Now that is the crux of the matter. So we'll have to see that which is the date on which the identity of the offender came to your knowledge.
Your Lordship, if I may submit one thing. Your Lordship, if we are,
There is a direct question. Please give me.
I will.
Please.
Sir,
Give me.
Your Lordship, there is a direction on the issue.
Please show me the order dated 21/8/2020, whereby the Court of Inquiry started investigation. It started investigation against unknown persons or against certain known persons. That will be the starting point.
Yes, Your Lordship.
Complete the requirements of section 122(1)(c).
Your Lordship, I just have one submission. Your Lordship, we have not dwelt in details of the facts for one reason.
No. Sorry.
One reason.
No.
I will present it if the Honorable Court
I'm
orders.
asking you, you'll have to present it.
Of course, Your Lordship.
Where is
Sir,
it?
right now I don't have the.
Bring it. Then
Yes,
don't
Your
waste time. Bring it.
Yes, Your Lordship,
Bring
I
it.
will.
लिखिएगा. आप बोलिए अब.
My lord, I have also filed a synopsis where I have brought that suppression has been done.
हाँ बताइए.
After surprise check on 29 January 2020,
जी.
from 2nd March, my lord, a court of inquiry has been initiated by Lieutenant Colonel Pankaj Sharma,
2nd March.
presiding officer, 2nd March 2020.
2nd March 2020. Pankaj Sharma.
Lieutenant Colonel Pankaj Sharma.
Lieutenant Colonel Pankaj Sharma.
That was culminated on 14th August 2020.
14th August 2020.
And the same was forwarded to the office of Headquarter 1 STC.
And was forwarded to the headquarter 1
STC.
STC. S for Shimla.
Signal Training Center.
अच्छा STC. Yes.
White number TTR letter number
ये
109.
आपका एलेक्शन होगा ना?
My lord, IA number मैंने पेश किया है सर.
कौन सा है ये?
IA number is 177850 I think. My lord, there is
नहीं 17778 है.
1778.
हाँ. देखते हैं.
Column number, my lord, page 5 onwards it starts.
देखते हैं.
Your Lordship, if I may just bring something to your notice.
Facts आ रहे कोई.
Of course.
I'm not deciding the case.
No, because he mentioned that I have suppressed this fact. That is why I just want to point out one thing.
You are not supposed to react to everything.
Of course.
Page 5 onwards, my lord, that I have mentioned a chart, my lord. Third, it deals with the surprising check.
हाँ.
And fourth,
On 20 over as quartermaster from Lieutenant Colonel Pankaj Sharma.
Yes.
But to be noted that primary appointment was of officer commanding training company. Petitioner has not attended quartermaster course also. ठीक है, तो your contention is that on at least on 14th August 2020
They have forwarded.
they knew that who are the delinquents.
Yes,
बस इतना ही है ना,
yes.
ठीक है, let them clarify.
Sir.
आ जाइए, बस इतना लिख लेते. क्या लिखा? Shri Rakesh Singh submits that he has also enclosed a summary wide IA 177 synopsis wide IA 1778/2024. On page 5 of this synopsis, he has shown that on 2nd March 2020, Lieutenant Colonel Pankaj Sharma, from whom he had taken charge, started inquiry for the discrepancies in clothing store 1 TTR, and Pankaj Sharma was detailed as the presiding officer of the same. Full stop. On 14th August 2020, CUI क्या होता है?
Court of Inquiry.
Court of Inquiry done by Lieutenant Colonel Pankaj Sharma was forwarded to HQ1 STC wide 1 TTR letter number. ये कौन है भाई? बाहर बात कर लीजिए बैठ के. बाहर चेयर्स है नहीं है? कॉरिडोर में चेयर्स है नहीं है? बाहर कॉरिडोर में चेयर्स है नहीं है? बाहर बैठ के बात करिए प्लीज. आप लोगों के बारे में नाम आ गए थे ना कि किस किसने गलती की है.
Your Lordship, at the level of
आपको
Court of Inquiry.
आपको दे रहे हैं, मौका देंगे आपको. कोई अभी कंक्लूड थोड़ा ना करना.
Yes, sir.
दिस इज देयर कंटेंशन.
Yes, Your
इस
Lordship.
कोर्ट में तो आपका कोर्ट मार्शल चलेगा नहीं.
Yes, Your Lordship.
उनको भी कहने का मौका देंगे
Of
हम,
course.
और जो कहेंगे उसको आप रिबट करिएगा.
Yes, Your Lordship.
ठीक है. I require complete transparency in the matter.
Yes, Your Lordship.
Were known to the Commandant 1 STC, who was conducting preliminary inquiry at the behest of the superiors. Next para. In view of such facts, let copy of the order dated 2nd March 2020, by which
23.
Lieutenant Colonel Pankaj Sharma started inquiry, and the inquiry report which was submitted by him on 14th August 2020, besides the communication dated 21/8/2020 and the complete file in which the matter was dealt, resulting in the findings of the Court of Inquiry, which was slated to be completed on, which is stated to be completed on 8/2/2023, be brought on record to bring complete and correct facts on record, so to point out as to what will be the starting date for limitation in terms of provisions contained in section 122 within bracket 1 another bracket small c of the Army Act 1950. कब ले आएंगी आप ये
Your
कागज?
Lordship, can I seek one permission? Your Lordship, the 20th March 23 order, February 23 order, the directions of GOC. Your Lordship, because the trial has not commenced, the petitioner is not entitled to that copy.
Yeah,
in the
I-
scheme of that.
नहीं,
May I produce it in a sealed cover is what I would like to
ठीक है,
ask.
मे बी प्रोड्यूस इन सील कवर कर दीजिए. सील कवर, यस, ले आइए इसको.
So all the three orders, Your Lordship,
the-
I'll produce in sealed cover. If
cover.
10 days time, maybe please grant it to me.
जी, ठीक है. Miss Major Mohituma prays for and is granted 10 days time to do the needful. List this case on. Fifth March 2020.
Because he is now required here and his family is settled at Jamnagar.
इनको जाने दीजिए ना, आप तो पर्याप्त हैं बहस करने के लिए.
Your Lordship, he's attached here and he can seek leave as per permissible. He's been granted leave on number of occasions. I've pointed that out.
बोलिए.
Grant of leave is not a viable option. Because last year I have cooperated with the complete proceedings. I was here for 9 months. Thereafter, I availed my full leave. Since the
नहीं,
year end
but
was-
still, unless they
Your Honor,
bring your attachment to an end, you can only
That's-
seek leave. You cannot seek movement from one place to another unless this court decides that the inquiry has not been completed within the prescribed time limit as given in section 122(1)(c. Then till then there cannot be any order of movement to the unit.
Your Honor, my summary of evidence, whatever was to be taken, finished on September, Your Honor.
ठीक है
I am
चलिए
here attached since then with no productive gainful attachment.
ठीक है are you being paid your salary or not
Full
I am being paid.
and you are getting your allowances too?
Yes, Your Honor.
Then be happy. List on 5th March.
Like,